Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the CAC question and answer forum tonight. We are here today to answer parent questions. Sorry, I'm missing parents' questions, and we have some answers. So we have all of the special education district leader boards and program specialists here tonight to answer questions. Right now, I'm going to share the agenda real quick. So tonight we're going to go over some CAC business. Then we're going to introduce the new special education director. Then we're going to have introductions of the EGUSD program specialists. And after that, we'll have parent questions and answers from the EGUSD special education leadership team. And then we'll have the meeting adjourned. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. The first thing we would like to do is, I need to share again, is the CAC bylaws. We have changed the CAC bylaws from, we used to meet once a month, except for the month of December and July and August. We have changed it to meet 4 times a year, so every quarter we would meet. Let me get the CAC bylaws up. Sorry, guys. It'll take me a second. So I just want to share that the changes that we have made in the bylaws. So I'm going to go down to the second page here. We used to meet one time a month, and now we have changed it to 4 times a month, and it would be November, January, March, and June. One year we went around in 2016, 2017, we went around to different school sites, but we had low attendance except for a couple of them, so we changed it back to the district office. So as you can see, the highlighted portions are the changes in there. And the first meeting would be in September or in November. We usually normally had it in September, but we can always call a meeting at any time. And we thought since the distance learning, the CAC board, since the distance learning was happening, we would like to answer your questions. And then we changed it where officers used to be, the elections used to be in May. We changed it to June. And nominations for officers will be taken from the floor at the March meeting. And those names will be posted on the CAC website in April, prior to the June meeting. Nominations will also be taken from the floor prior to the election at the June meeting. A nominee must be a member of the CAC and must agree to have their name placed in the nominations. So that has changed because it used to be May, now we're making it to June. And then I'm going to scroll down to here. The meetings will be, like I said, 4 times a year. The CAC does not have a membership meeting in July, August, September, October, December, February, April, and May. The meetings shall be conducted the 2nd Wednesday of November, January, March, and June. And notice of regular meetings will be posted on the website and the CAC brochure that is to be given to each parent at IEP meetings. So we want to make sure that the agendas are posted at least 24 to 48 hours beforehand on the CAC website. And that is all of the changes. We will vote for the CAC bylaws in the November CAC meeting in November. We also are going to take, if you would like to nominate someone for the CAC board, since Cheryl, Monica, and I have been on the CAC board and our term has already elapsed, if you would like to make nominations, please email them to the egcac@yahoo.com. And in November, we will do elections for this school year, since we didn't do it last school year because all the meetings were canceled at the end of the school year, postponed in the school year. And Monica has been working very hard on making a digital CAC membership form that you can fill out. And I'm pretty sure she has put it on the CAC website. Monica, would you like to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, thank you, Keely. So good evening, everyone. My name is Monica Spencer. I'm a parent in the district. I am currently serving as the secretary for the CAC. Thank you everyone for your attendance and your participation in this. We are kind of adjusting and trying to better organize ourselves as a committee. And so we are trying to go electronic. We have updated, as Keely said, the membership form to be an electronic format now. It's a Microsoft form. If you go to the EGCAC website, we're actually asking all current and prospective members to go to that site and complete the form. If you are already a member, you simply check the box that says you're already a member. If you're not yet a member, there are two options. You do need to attend 2 meetings in order to be voted in as a member of the committee. This would count as a 1 meeting. And then if you go to the meeting in November, that would be the 2nd meeting. So just make sure when you're completing your form, you indicate if you're a prospective member, if you have attended 1 or 2 meetings, or you haven't attended any meetings yet and you're just simply expressing interest. You will receive, all communications will come from the EGCAC Yahoo email instead of us volunteers sending out emails from our box. That way it's just a more uniform way of communicating with everyone. And yeah, so if everyone could please complete that form, we'd appreciate it. And we're also really looking for additional volunteers for the committees, subcommittees, and chair positions for this year and in the coming years. So thank you.
So like I was saying, you're going to be taking nominations for the chair, the chairperson, the vice chair, the secretary, and the treasurer. And the treasurer is, we got stimulus money a long time ago and we did not use it all up. And we do have the treasurer to do any money. And if we do any fundraising or anything with the CAC, that way we have a treasurer that will help take care of the money. And make sure that we can pay for the dinners and the childcare and any other activities we do, like a disability fair, anything like that. And now I'm going to turn it over to Anne, our new director.
Thank you. Good evening, Chairperson Groves, Community Advisory Committee officers, special education teachers and staff, and most importantly, you, our community members and parents joining us this evening. My name is Anne Regali, and I am proud to serve as the SELPA Special Education Director for the Elk Grove Unified School District. While I only started in this role in Elk Grove in May, I am most impressed as well as grateful for the dedication and commitment of the individuals comprising the Special Education Department. Over the past few weeks, I've had the pleasure of observing classrooms, and I'm amazed at the determination of our students and staff. I'd like to thank you parents for partnering with us in the education of your children. I would also like to share the following updates. Since August 3rd, we have had 280 completed IEPs, including 30 initial IEPs, 208 annual IEPs, and 42 triennial IEPs. We are tracking attendance to ensure that our students with disabilities do not lag behind in attendance compared to that of students without disabilities. As of September 10th, we've had a number of self-contained classes with 100% attendance for all students. And we know that is quite a feat. Awesome work. We provided thousands of Chromebooks, webcams, communication devices, and other specialized equipment necessary for students to access distance learning at home. Of course, none of this could be possible without your support in the home, and we are very grateful. Our professional learning program specialist, Michelle Kuhn, has provided staff weekly virtual and recorded trainings since July, curriculum access, continued development of resources to support students and teachers and our paraprofessionals. Monday trainings are provided for paraeducators and weekly office hours for questions and collaboration time. This is new for everyone, and we're very grateful for Michelle and your professional learning. Special education information sessions are held each week for teachers to clarify trainings, access resources, and to collaborate. In-person assessment training was provided by our school nurse coordinator, Tammy Elementary, and as of today, September 16th, 40 of our 42 elementary schools, 8 of our 9 high schools, 9 of our 9 middle schools, it's all of them, and 1 of our alt-eds have begun in-person IEP assessments. Like many families, our teachers and our administrators want students back in school as quickly and safely as possible. We are committed to ensuring implementation of a free and appropriate public education for each student. To that end, we are working with the Greater Elk Grove Unified School District to follow the guidelines and direction of the California Department of Public Health and the Sacramento County Public Health Order of August 28th. I thank you for joining us this evening. We will be reading out your comments and respond to questions, but first, I would like to introduce to you our special education administration team, beginning with Coordinator Alicia Wilson.
Good evening. My name is Alicia Wilson. I'm the mild moderate coordinator for special education. I supervise the mild moderate program specialists who supervise supports at school sites and elementary for the Learning Center teachers, also known as education specialists, and also the secondary RSP teachers for education specialists and mild moderate. Good evening and thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Alicia. Melissa Stoneman, Coordinator Melissa Stoneman.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Melissa Stoneman. I am the Moderate Severe Special Education Coordinator. I'm Alicia's counterpart for our self-contained students, so our students with moderate to severe disabilities who are served in our self-contained classes, and I have a team of program specialists who assist me with that responsibility.
Thank you, Melissa. And now I would like to introduce our program specialists, and like the classroom teacher and me, I'm going to go alphabetically by last name. We'll begin with Christina Errata.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Errata, and I'm one of the moderate severe specialists. I have the privilege to work with our moderate severe programs, and one of them is our developmental diagnostic classroom, which is, you'll hear some acronyms tonight, so be prepared. This is the DD classroom, and those classrooms are kindergarten through 2nd grade. They're at Beitzel, Costello, Florin, and Reef. In addition, I also support the functional living skills classroom, which we call FLS. And all 5 classes in elementary school are at Herman Leinbach, so they are housed there. In addition, I support the highly intensive living skills classroom, which is Hills. You'll probably hear that a little bit along the line here today. And those classes for elementary are Arlene Hine and then also Roy Herberger. In addition, I work with Sacramento County Office of Education, which we call SCOE, another acronym for you.
Krista, we can't hear you.
I apologize.
The whole
Krista,
time you've been talking.
What? Really?
The volume is turned way down. I don't know if there's something you can do to adjust your volume.
I'm at 100%. Can you hear me when I'm talking really loud like this?
No, we still can't hear you. Maybe we'll go to the next person and we'll see if our if the host can adjust the volume with Krista. Krista, we'll circle back to you and we'll go to Marilyn Delgado.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, my name's Marilyn Delgado and I'm the program specialist for the students in non-public school.
Thank you, Marilyn. Brenna.
Hi there. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm Brenna Dillman, and I am a moderate severe program specialist for our elementary programs for our transitional academic centers, which is our TAC programs, as well as some of our PALS programs at Markhofer Elementary, Fikert Elementary, Elliott Ranch, Sierra Enterprise, Florin Elementary, and Leinbach Elementary.
Thank you, Brenna. Kim Forsyth.
Good evening, everyone. I am transitioning.
Kim, we have a challenge with hearing you as well.
For lots of your programs this week. It's my first week. And I am,
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
No, it's still slow motion. It's kind of like a warped sound. Why don't we go to our next program specialist, and then we'll circle back to you as well, Kim. Monique Grove.
How's the audio?
Circle back to me.
Great.
Okay. I'm Monique Grove. I'm the program specialist over part of the Elementary PALS program. I have the sites of Adriani, Beatty, Donner, Stone Lake, and Joseph Sims Elementary.
Okay.
Thank you, Monique. Cindy Hayes.
Hi, I'm Cindy Hayes. I'm a program specialist for Laguna Creek region. And so I have John Earhart Elementary, Joseph Sims, Folks Ranch, and Marion Mix. And I have Harriet Eddy Middle School and Laguna Creek High School. I also oversee Special Ed Home Hospital.
Thank you, Cindy. Michelle Kuhn.
Good evening, parents. Thanks for spending your evening with us. Anne already introduced me. Very nice introduction. My name is Michelle Kuhn, Program Specialist for Curriculum and Professional Learning for our special education teachers as well as our para-educators.
Thank you, Michelle. Carylak.
Hi, my name is Carylak. I am a program specialist that oversees self-contained programs in the Living Skills and PALS strand at Albioni Middle School, Consumnes Oaks High School, Edward Harris Middle School, John Earhart Elementary, Florin High School, Franklin High School, Jackman Middle School, Kerr Middle School, Pinkerton Middle School, Pleasant Grove High School, and Sunrise Elementary.
Thank you, Kara. Jonathan Lee.
Hi, everyone. My name is John Lee. I'm a regional program specialist for the Florin region. The sites that I cover are Florin High School, James Rudder Middle School, Florin Elementary, David Reese Elementary, Samuel Kennedy Elementary, Isabel Jackson Elementary, and Anna Kirchgater Elementary.
Thank you, John. Jen Lipsky.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lipsky. I'm the program specialist over our pre-K special education classes that are located across 18 sites in the district.
Thank you, Jen. Wendy Petties is not here, but we have someone ready to introduce Wendy.
Hi, I'm Michelle Walner, filling in for Wendy. She is the Valley Region program specialist. She oversees Valley High School, Samuel Jackman Middle School, Charles Mack Elementary, Herman Leimbach Elementary, Prairie Elementary, John Reith Elementary, and Union House Elementary.
Thank you. Jenny Pinedo.
Hi, my name is Jenny Pinedo. I'm the program specialist for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing program. I also oversee the special education programs for the mild moderate Herberger Elementary. I have Irene B. West Elementary, Raymond Case Elementary, Barbara Comstock Morse Elementary, Edward Harris Middle School, and Monterey Trail High School.
Thank you, Jenny. Liz Rayner.
Hey, I'm Liz Rayner. I oversee the APPS program. There's 25 programs throughout the district, and I also oversee the alt ed programs.
Thank you, Liz. Gina Rogers.
Hello, I'm Gina Rogers, and I support education specialists in the learning centers at Casumas River Elementary, Dillard Elementary, Pleasant Grove Elementary, Adriani, and Beatty Elementaries. I also support Pinkerton Middle School and Casumas Oaks High School. And I also support with private school procedures.
Thank you, Gina. Janelle Romano.
Hi, I'm Janelle Romano Jones. I'm a regional program specialist. The schools I support are Pleasant Grove High School, Catherine Albioni Middle School, Sunrise Elementary, Donner Elementary, Zender Elementary, and Elliott Ranch. I also oversee augmentative alternative communication, assistive technology, our vision impairment specialist, and our orientation and mobility team.
Thank you, Janelle. Sandra Sandoval.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Sandra Sandoval. I help supervise the Elk Grove region. and Sierra Enterprise. I also support Markoffer Elementary, McKee Elementary, Biker Elementary, Elk Grove Elementary, for middle school, and Elk Grove High School. And I also work with the English as a Second Language office to support our dually identified students.
Thank you, Sandra. Cindy Shapton.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cindy Shapton, and I am the principal / special ed program specialist for Jesse Baker School. And thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you, Cindy. Linda Vargas.
Hello, I am the program manager overseeing the transition services program, and I'm also the transition specialist for Rudder Middle School, Jesse Baker, and our alternative education sites, as well as Elk Grove Charter. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Michelle Walner, as Michelle Walner.
I get to be myself now. I'm the regional program specialist for the Franklin region, and I oversee Franklin High School, Toby Johnson Middle School, Carroll Elementary, Costello Elementary, Franklin Elementary, Arlene Hine Elementary, and Stone Lake Elementary. Welcome.
Thank you, Michelle. Erica Nguyen.
Hello, I'm Erica Nguyen. I am the program specialist that supports Sheldon High School and Smedberg Middle School, Mary Tsukamoto Elementary, Fight Elementary, Butler Elementary, Beitzel Elementary, and McGarvey Elementary. I also oversee and coordinate the moderate to severe students for extended school year.
Thank you, Erica. Simone Worsham.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Simone Worsham, and I am the program specialist for secondary self-contained, and I cover PALS and ILS, and I also am the program specialist for all of the adult transition programs. My schools I cover are Harriet Eddy, Smedberg, Sheldon High School, Elk Grove High School, Valley High School, Monterey High School, and Laguna Creek High School.
Thank you, Simone. Susan Siddaro.
Good evening. My name is Susan Siddaro, and I'm the program specialist over inclusive education. And we have students at all of the elementary schools, middle schools, and the comprehensive high schools. And for once, I'm not going to have to go last.
Thank you, Susan. And let's circle back to Christina Errata.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better. Woo! If we're quiet, we'll hear you.
Okay, you can hear me okay? All right. I am Christina Errata, and I am one of the moderate severe specialists. I have the privilege to work with our moderate severe programs in elementary school. Can you still hear me? Okay. One of the classes that I support are the developmental diagnostic classrooms, and we call them DD classrooms, and they are K through 2 at Beitzel, Costello, Florin, and Reith. In addition, I support the functional living skills classrooms, which we call FLS, and all 5 elementary classrooms are at Herman Leinbach. In addition to that, I also work with our highly intensive living skills classrooms, which we call HILS, and they are currently housed at Arlene Hine and Roy Herberger. In addition, I collaborate with Sacramento County Office of Education, which we call SCOE, so another acronym for you. And those classes are at Prairie, Markoffer, Sunrise, Jesse Baker, Rudder, Smedberg, Sheldon, and Monterey Trail. And as of this week, I'm handing the baton over to Kim, and hopefully you can hear her in a moment. She will be taking some of the independent living skills classes and working with them. So thank you. Very nice meeting you all.
Thank you, Krista. And Kim Forsyth. Kim, we're having an audio problem again. Maybe we could have Melissa Stoneman just give a brief introduction and see how
Kim Forsyth is a new member of our team. This is actually her first week. And so she'll be transitioning into supporting some of our elementary PALS and living skills classes. She's also going to be providing some support to our non-public school students and overseeing our adapted PE specialists. So welcome, Kim, to the team, and thanks for being here tonight.
Yes, thanks. So We will move into the questions and comments. We have a few comments, and Alicia Wilson and Melissa Stoneman and I will be reading them to you and then responding as they came in. Thank you very much for submitting your questions and your comments to us. We sure appreciate it. I'll start off with a comment. I know my feedback won't change the unified school district for school reopening, as I see my kids are not making progress. All I can do is blame Elk Grove Unified School District. Teachers basically tried to do everything to stay away from teaching in person. They do not put special kids into consideration as first priority. How Unified School District's decision impacts special needs kids in many negative ways. I guess special needs kids become the victims of failure of school accommodation.
The next item is a comment as well. I don't have any positive feedback for distance learning. In my opinion, the distance learning won't do any good for my daughter. I can see she is going backward in learning. Obviously, I'm not a 100% good teacher with her in the home setting, with her peers and social interactions. It doesn't help her. Plus, she keeps on closing Zoom by touching keys in the Chromebook. Yes, they are special kids. We cannot expect them to function as normal kids. In fact, even many normal kids struggle with distance learning. Special needs kids can't learn through a computer, but maybe the first 5 minutes, but not for hours.
The concern I have is this. Since he is not turning his work, he is marked absent. This is not fair to him or myself. Like most parents of kids with autism, I was not trained to help or teach a kid with special needs.
Question. So my question is, when my son has a quick quiz, can the teachers give him time to study his notes before taking the quiz? The answer, please talk with your child's teacher regarding this question. He or she may be willing to accommodate this request. Talk to the case manager overseeing the IEP. It could potentially be an area for an accommodation or modification on the adaptation plan at an IEP meeting.
As you might have imagined, we had a number of questions about a return to in-person learning. And so we decided to group those questions together. So I'll read all the questions at one time. There's 5 in total, and then we'll provide the answer to all of those questions. Can a small class such as adult transition program at Laguna Creek High School be able to begin in-classroom classes via the hybrid model? Next question. There are services that need to be done in person. When will the school open to assist the child with these in-person services? Example, mobility, occupational therapy. Next question. Are children with IEPs going to be allowed to go back in-person classes as per Governor Newsom and State Board of Education President Linda Darling-Hammond's announcement in August? I don't understand why special education cannot continue with teaching in person. I thought Governor Newsom already gave a green light like 2 weeks ago, so what is holding you all back opening school for this special minority group? They are already behind even more with their progress with lesser resources and without learning stuff in person, music, OT, speech, etc. Is there a plan for kiddos to come in-person instruction earlier than other students for extra help? So we did get some guidance from Governor Newsom regarding convening cohorts of students. We are in the process of reviewing those cohort guidelines, as they are quite specific for a return to school, and we're exploring options for a return to school for learning and related services that would comply with these guidelines. So we anticipate to have more information on that in the coming days and weeks, and we'll communicate it to you as we have it.
Okay, next question. What if I feel my child's behavior or learning has deteriorated during distance learning? What are his, her, their rights? What are my rights as a parent or legal guardian? The district does have behaviorists assigned to programs to support behavioral needs, and you can discuss these needs with your case manager. Also, you may participate in an IEP meeting and discuss any appropriate changes that may assist your child. And as far as referring to rights, hearsay for the parent or the student. There are certain rights that are outlined in the procedural safeguards that are reviewed with parents at each IEP meeting. You may refer to these procedural safeguards to find out any next steps for you in regards to the situation.
What can I do if my son won't sit down for class at all? There are many reasons a child may not sit down: motivation, attention, difficulty with work assignments. Please work with your child's teacher or case manager to discuss the behavior and the reasons for the behavior, to explore options such as behavior support or additional or modified pencil paper packets.
Next question. Is Elk Grove School District and the Department of Education aware of rights being violated for all students, including special needs? So we're not aware of any rights that are being violated. However, we do want to take this time to say that we do understand your frustration. We are working to return kids to school as quickly and safely as possible. And we get that this is a challenge for all parents. And so we want to say that we empathize, we understand your frustration. We're working to do what we can to bring kids back as soon as it's safe to do so.
Okay, next question. I sure hope that the few emails I've received is not being counted as one of my son's 52 sessions. By now, you should have received a form for case management regarding how services are being provided in distance learning. It's referred to as Form 2, Emergency Services Plan. You should have already received this copy. If you have not received this copy from your case manager, please contact your case manager immediately about how services are being provided for your student. There's a combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning in most cases to fulfill service minutes. But if you have concerns about your student's service minutes, please reach out to your case manager and call an IEP team meeting to discuss your concerns. That is the best way to get your concerns addressed and perhaps aligning the IEP or making the necessary changes needed for the IEP for your student.
The question: what happens when school starts back in person in regards to IEP goals and supports not being able to be met via distance learning? If needed, what's the process to get additional supports if there is some regression in the student from being pulled out of class for too long, for both self-contained and students in Gen Ed classes with IEP supports? Thank you. Please work with your IEP team to review your child's student progress and data related to any documented regressions to determine if additional supports and services are needed.
All right, the next question. How do we help our children that are behind in academics and teachers think it's not bad enough for reopening an IEP? My son exited it last year but received speech, and I feel with distance learning it needs to be re-looked at. So this is obviously a very specific situation, and our advice or thinking in this case would be to talk to your child's case manager about holding an IEP meeting to review your child's current needs and the data about his current academic functioning to determine whether he needs to be reassessed in the area of academics.
All right, next question. How are the students being helped with classes who have an IEP? Well, as we stated in the previous question, by now you should have received the emergency services form from your child's case manager. This form explains how special ed services will be provided in distance learning. Special ed support services are being provided virtually. If you've not received the form, which is called Form 2, Emergency Services Plan, please reach out to your case manager to get this form sent to you immediately. If you have any questions about the form, you can also talk to your case manager about those questions as well.
Is it possible to delay IEP and 504 services if such activities are conflicting with the student's ability to focus on academic requirements such as assignments? Services are agreed upon by the IEP team and have been deemed necessary for educational benefit by this IEP team. Therefore, they cannot be delayed or temporarily suspended.
All right, the next question. Once we return to in-person schooling, will there be an opportunity for students to be reassessed regarding their need for services, improved or deteriorated, within the first 3 months, or will we have to wait until our annual IEP or 504 plan meetings? If students can be reassessed before their annual, will the district be contacting parents regarding this opportunity, or will the district proceed only if a request is made? So we wanted to first say that assessments are currently taking place both virtually and in person in compliance with health guidelines. We've done a lot of training with our teachers on that and how they can do those safely. But in addition to that formal testing, which typically occurs at initials and triennials, our teachers are also regularly engaging in what we call formative and summative assessments as a way to monitor progress. So every time that your teacher is giving a test or a quiz or collecting data, they are monitoring your child's progress. And so IEP teams can review both formal and informal progress data and assessment results at an IEP meeting to determine if changes to special education supports are warranted.
And next question. How are compensatory services being considered when in-person school resumes? I understand the typical response may be each case is different. Can the district contact parents upon students resuming in-person school regarding their rights to initiate and discuss compensatory services? This question does pose a lot of different answers. If you have a concern about compensatory services, when we do resume in-person schooling, you're going to want to reach out to your child's case manager and ask for an IEP meeting to discuss your concerns about compensatory services. Each case will be different and there may be some merit to it, but it's going to have to be in an IEP meeting and not being reached out from the district. If you have the concern, you're going to want to reach out to your case manager to call an IEP meeting.
Can we have more teacher assistants in the classrooms? There are too many distractions on Zoom for there to only be one teacher and one assistant for a whole classroom on different levels. When can one-on-one time be introduced to Zoom? My child doesn't receive any one-on-one time with her teacher. Her learning curve is regressing quickly. Are you offering tutoring after school to catch the kids up who are not able to grasp what's going on as they are being rushed through Zoom? Are the kids learning the same curriculum as the children in Gen Ed? If not, how are they expected to make a smooth transition otherwise? Staffing ratios are being consistently evaluated so appropriate adjustments can be made where needed. Some one-on-one and small group instruction with paraprofessionals and teachers is taking place virtually. Please contact your child's case manager or teacher to discuss whether this would be appropriate for your child. IEP services such as tutoring are not offered outside of the school day. But if you have concerns about your child's progress, please work with your child's IEP team as special education supports may need to be adjusted. Curriculum needs vary based on the needs of the student. A student may be working in the general education curriculum in some or all subjects, or the student may require an alternate curriculum.
All right, the next question is about our preschool services. I just received an IEP report tonight for my 3-year-old, and she has an IEP meeting tomorrow afternoon. I would love to know what preschool will look like for a student who is just beginning this process. So first we want to say welcome to Elk Grove, and your meeting tomorrow, your IEP meeting, is going to be very helpful in understanding what special education programs and services may be of assistance to your child. We're very fortunate in the size of our district that we offer a large continuum of services to meet the needs of children with a wide range of needs. Jennifer Lipsky and our special education preschool team is highly skilled, and they are ready and able to answer any questions that you may have about special education services or what's being recommended or discussed at your child's IEP meeting tomorrow.
And next question. How do you plan to address the regression that most special education kiddos are experiencing due to the distance learning last spring and online class this year? Well, first we want to acknowledge that most students, if not all students, will experience some learning loss due to being out of school, regardless if we were in a COVID situation or not. Prior to COVID, during most breaks, most typical students do experience learning loss, as well as atypical students. This occurs every year of schooling. But in the case of a special ed student, Your child's IEP team can review your child's progress on goals and objectives to determine if any adjustments need to be made due to any documented regression. We make our decisions based on data and evidence. So we look at the goals and the progress or lack thereof to determine if any regression had taken place. But do keep in mind, regression is a natural form that happens throughout schooling, regardless of whether they're in special education or general education.
When will our kids receive actual therapy that they desperately need? Special education supports and services are being provided currently per the child's IEP. The emergency considerations form should let you know how special education services are being provided during distance learning. Please reach out to your case manager or teacher if you require further explanation.
We have a speech-related question. How is whole class speech working? My son is getting lessons that are not on target for his current level. So in some cases, an IEP team may recommend what we call the integrated whole class speech model and or other types of related services. And in some cases, that can be very effective in promoting generalization between related service providers and the classroom staff. They have the opportunity to see the related service providers working with the children in the classroom and are better able to carry out some of those strategies throughout the school day. If you feel that your child has needs that are not being addressed currently by the current speech and language services, please work with your child's case manager to discuss those and any adjustments or next steps that may need to take place from there.
How soon can Zoom be eliminated or drastically reduced? We understand the frustration of spending long hours online on Zoom and other video conferencing platforms, as is evidenced by this evening's hiccups with this meeting with all adults. We appreciate your support and partnership in helping your children navigate distance learning while managing your own personal and professional obligations. We look forward to returning all kids to school as soon and as safely as possible.
Can we do Zoom for only 3 hours and not the whole day? So the 3 hours a day of instruction can include a combination of both synchronous and asynchronous instruction. That's instruction that's happening in real time, which is synchronous, and instruction that kids can do in their own time. So lessons and activities that kids can view in their own time, which would be considered asynchronous. And the balance of those two things is determined from the classroom teacher based on what's appropriate for the students. But the total number of instructional minutes is mandated in California Education Code, and therefore we cannot change them or reduce them.
Okay, next question. How does my child log on to Zoom? Your child should receive each week or each day a link from your child's teacher that your child will click on to log on to Zoom. This link is often posted in your child's Google Classroom from your child's teacher. If you do not know where your child's Google Classroom is, please reach out to your teacher at the school site to find out the link and the website for the Google Classroom where you'll find the link for Zoom.
What is the goal of distance learning? The goal is to retain our high quality standards of instruction to all students in a virtual environment. That is, as at this time, it is not deemed safe for us to return to in-person instruction. We seek to provide special education supports and services to meet the needs of the students to the best of our ability under these unprecedented circumstances.
All right, and our last question is about home hospital services. This person says, I haven't been contacted at all regarding our child and his home hospital schooling provided by the district. So we have a program specialist on our team who oversees home hospital services. You met her here tonight. If you contact our special education office with your specific details, then we can assist you. Home hospital services are currently taking place virtually, and so we want to ensure that your child gets connected with the service provider so he can get started right away.
Okay, and this next one, I believe, is a compliment to Jessie Baker, shout out to Jessie Baker and Cindy Shapton. We are very pleased with Jessie Baker and the way that the school has implemented the classes for our son. Our teacher has made it very easy to transition so we can be more hands-on with our son with learning. Communication has been excellent from teacher to parent and from school to parent. The programs that have been offered when we are physically in school have also offered to us, such as music, read-alongs, adapted physical education, speech, occupational therapy, art, and many more. They have made school online as much like it was an in-person school. Our son has been able to socialize with his friends on campus through Zoom get-togethers during a social activity. They all enjoy seeing one another and talking and interacting. They also have excited the father in our household. Our father is very excited that he gets to be involved with the team, and he's learning the teaching techniques that make our son work harder and learn more. Our whole family is being involved. Considering all of the hardship that the pandemic has brought to us, we really appreciate that we are part of the team with this school. Nicely done, Jessie Baker. Thank you so much.
And a comment. I really appreciate the support provided to my son by his para and teacher as well. I'm also concerned about my son's emotional well-being because he gets frustrated and overwhelmed every day. The amount of time that my son is required to be in a Zoom meeting is too long. 8 to 12:15 is way too long for anyone.
And a final comment for this evening. Everything is working out well as far as distance learning. I have 2 boys in special education and they miss being in school and riding the bus.
And this concludes our Q&A forum for this evening's meeting. Back to you, Keely.
I just want to thank all the parents for sending in questions and comments, positive and negative. And I'd like to thank all of the program specialists for taking their time out tonight to meet with us. And also to the new director, Ann Rogali. Thank you very much for all your support. And if you have any questions, please email me or email the CAC at the egcac@yahoo.com and provide nominations so we can vote on them in November. Thank you very much for taking your time out tonight. We really appreciate it. And I would like to make the meeting adjourned. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Keely.